Okay, so you landed an interview in education. Congrats.
That's awesome.
But now comes the question that can feel like a pop quiz on like your entire life's work.
Oh, yeah.
What's your teaching philosophy?
Yeah.
Don't sweat it.
Right.
We're diving deep into this tricky question.
Okay.
And we've got an actual expert, Jared Canise,
Nice.
CEO of academicjobs.com, weighing in.
Cool.
He's seen a lot of answers,
I bet.
and he's here to help us craft one that'll make you shine.
Yeah, this question, it's more than just listing your favorite classroom activities. It's about really getting to the core of what you believe about learning, what success looks like, and specifically how you help students get there.
So it's not just some stuffy theory, it's personal.
Absolutely. Employers want to know if you fit their culture. Will your style work in their classroom or training program? You can have all the right credentials. But if your philosophy clashes with theirs, it's going to be a rough ride.
Yeah, okay, now that makes the stakes feel a little higher. But how do we even begin to figure out our own philosophy? It's not like they hand you a manual in teacher training.
Well, think back to your own experiences. Who were the teachers who truly inspired you? What made their approach so effective? And what about your own wins as an educator? Like those moments when you saw the light bulb go on for a student, or when you managed a chaotic classroom like a pro? Those are gold mines for uncovering your natural teaching style.
It's like a detective story, but the clues are hidden in our memories.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say we've done some soul searching, and we have a general idea.
Yeah.
How do we turn that into an answer that's concise and memorable?
Imagine you're in an elevator with the hiring manager. You've got a very short ride to pitch your teaching style. No jargon, no rambling. Just the core essence of what makes you a great educator.
Ooh, I like that analogy. It's about getting to the heart of the matter quickly.
Right.
But how do we make it more than just, I like to use hands-on activities or something equally generic? That's where concrete examples become your superpower. Think about specific situations that demonstrate your teaching style in action. Did you help a shy student find their voice in class presentations? Or revamp a boring training module with interactive games that actually boosted knowledge retention? Those stories are what bring your philosophy to life and make you memorable.
So instead of just saying, I believe in student-centered learning, we'd say something like, in my previous role, I noticed students were disengaged during lectures, so I introduced. And then boom, hit them with the story.
Exactly. It's like showing a movie trailer instead of just reading the synopsis. People remember stories, not just lists of beliefs.
No, that makes a lot of sense. But wait, what if you're fresh out of college or haven't had a ton of classroom experience yet? It feels like those concrete examples are harder to come by.
Even if you're brand new to the field, you have experiences that have shaped your view of teaching. Was there a teacher who made history come alive by connecting it to current events? Or a mentor who taught you the power of personalized feedback? Those influences are part of your story too.
Right. We all stand on the shoulders of the educators who came before us. It's all about connecting the dots and showing how those experiences inform your own approach.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. Sometimes the very act of articulating your teaching philosophy helps you become a better teacher. It forces you to analyze your methods, identify your strengths, and see your impact more clearly.
Whoa, so this isn't just about acing the interview, it's about professional growth. Talk about a win-win.
Absolutely no. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of crafting your answer and avoiding common pitfalls, let's take a moment to hear from Jared Canise, who's got some insider tips from the hiring side of the table. He's seen the good, the bad, and the downright baffling, so his insights are pure gold.
Okay, I'm ready to take notes. This is where the rubber meets the road, folks.
He breaks it down into 6 key points that can make or break your answer, and trust me, they're not what you'd expect.
Ooh, suspense. I'm hooked. Let's dive into Jared's wisdom and see how we can turn this potentially scary question into our moment to shine.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so let's unpack these 6 pro tips Jared shared, because they're like the secret sauce to making your teaching philosophy answer really stand out. First up, brevity is your best friend.
Okay, so we're not trying to write a dissertation here.
Nope. Think 2 minutes max. It sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's easy to get carried away when you're passionate about something. Respect the interviewer's time, and they'll respect your focus.
Got it. Short and sweet. What's next on Jared's list?
Ditch the jargon. You might know what scaffolding and differentiated instruction mean. But will everyone on the hiring committee use clear, everyday language that anyone can understand?
So no need to sound like a textbook. It's more about showing you can communicate your ideas effectively, which is kind of essential for teaching, right?
Exactly. Now, this one might seem obvious, but it's where so many people trip up. Speak in the present tense, I believe, or I strive to, sounds way more dynamic and engaging than I used to think or I tried to.
Ah, so it's about projecting confidence and showing you're actively living your teaching philosophy, not just reminiscing about it.
Right on. No, we've already touched on this, but Jared emphasizes it for a reason. Concrete examples are your secret weapon. But it's not just about any example. It's about choosing ones that truly highlight your unique approach.
Okay, so let's get tactical. What kinds of examples really pack a punch?
Think about situations where you faced a challenge and your teaching philosophy helped you overcome it. Did you have a student who was struggling and your personalized approach helped them succeed? Did you turn a chaotic classroom around by implementing a new behavior management system?
So it's about showing how your philosophy isn't just some abstract idea, but like a real-world tool that helps you navigate the messy, unpredictable world of teaching.
That's the goal. And remember, the example should be tailored to the specific position you're applying for. If it's a leadership role, highlight experiences where you mentored other teachers or spearheaded curriculum development. If it's a K-12 position, focus on classroom management or differentiated instruction strategies.
It's like choosing the right outfit for an interview. You want to showcase your best assets, but you also want to make sure it's appropriate for the occasion.
Perfect analogy. Now, Jared's last two tips might seem obvious, but they're often overlooked. Practice and enthusiasm.
Okay, practice makes sense. No one wants to sound like they're reading from a script. But what about enthusiasm? Isn't that kind of hard to fake?
You'd be surprised how much difference a little bit of energy can make. When you're genuinely passionate about teaching, it shows. Your eyes light up, your voice gets animated, and people are naturally drawn to that energy.
So it's not about putting on a performance. It's about letting your authentic excitement shine through.
Exactly. Now let's flip the script and talk about some common pitfalls to avoid, because even the best intentions can go sideways if you're not careful.
Ooh, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Let's hear those red flags so we can steer clear.
One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to sound overly academic or theoretical. Remember, you're not writing a thesis. You're having a conversation.
So it's okay to use normal human language, even if it's not straight out of a pedagogical journal.
Absolutely. And here's another trap to avoid. Name-dropping educational theories without explaining how they actually inform your practice.
Oh yeah, I've heard those answers that sound like a buzzword bingo card. I'm a constructivist who embraces a growth mindset and values differentiated instruction. But there's no substance behind it.
Exactly. It's like saying you love to cook, but you can't name a single dish you've made.
So it's not about showing off how much you know. It's about showing how your knowledge translates into action in the classroom.
Right on. And this next pitfall is a subtle one. Don't get bogged down in the minutia of your methods.
Like, we don't need to list every single activity we do in a lesson plan.
Nope. The interviewer wants to understand your overarching approach, your guiding principles. They don't need a play-by-play of your Tuesday afternoon routine.
Okay, so big picture thinking, not getting lost in the weeds. What else should we watch out for?
This one's important. Avoid making grandiose claims or promises.
Like, I guarantee I can raise every student's test scores by 20%.
Yikes. No pressure or anything. Confidence is great. But overconfidence can come across as arrogant or unrealistic.
So it's about being honest about your strengths
Yeah.
and also acknowledging that. Teaching is a complex process with lots of variables.
Exactly. Humility goes a long way in an interview. Now let's shift gears and talk about something that can make or break your entire answer. Authenticity.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
But how do you convey authenticity when you're sitting in like a high-stakes situation,
Yeah.
like a job interview?
It goes back to knowing yourself and being comfortable with your own teaching style. Don't try to be someone you're not or force yourself to. Fit a mold that doesn't feel right.
So if you're a naturally energetic teacher who loves hands-on activities, don't try to pretend you're a quiet, contemplative type who favors traditional lectures.
Exactly. Your passion will show through if you're being true to yourself. And interviewers can spot a phony a mile away.
So it's about letting your personality shine through, even if it's a little quirky or unconventional.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, that's what makes you a unique and valuable educator. And that's what will help you connect with students and create a truly engaging learning environment.
That's so inspiring. I'm feeling energized just thinking about it. But you know what else is inspiring?
What's that?
Knowing that there are tons of amazing education jobs out there, just waiting for passionate educators to apply. And speaking of amazing opportunities,
We can't forget to mention academicjobs.com, the ultimate resource for finding your dream job in education.
yes, they have listings for every level from preschool to university. And they covered locations all over the globe.
And they have tons of resources to help you craft the perfect application materials, ace those interviews, and negotiate the best offer.
It's like having a personal career coach in your corner. So if you're ready to take your teaching career to the next level, head over to academicjobs.com and start exploring.
You won't regret it.
All right, so we've covered a ton of ground here, from
Yeah.
pro tips to pitfalls, from authenticity to enthusiasm.
We've learned how to turn this daunting interview question into an opportunity to showcase your unique strengths and connect with the hiring committee on a personal level.
Exactly. But before we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned and distill those key takeaways that will help you absolutely nail this question and land your dream job.
I'm ready to drop some wisdom bombs.
Okay, so let's crystallize all this awesome advice
Yeah.
into some actionable takeaways. Those golden nuggets you can use to craft a teaching philosophy. Answer that. Truly wows.
All right, so here's a big one. Don't just tell them what you believe. Show them how it plays out in the real world. Think of it like this. Your philosophy is like the blueprint, but your examples are the 3D model that bring it to life.
Okay, so if my philosophy is all about creating a supportive and inclusive classroom, I might share a story about how I helped a student with learning differences feel empowered to participate.
Exactly. It's not enough to just say you value diversity. You need to demonstrate how you actively foster it in your teaching.
That makes total sense. It's about showing, not just telling. What else should we keep in mind as we're crafting our answer?
Think about the WHY behind your methods. Don't just list techniques. Explain the reasoning behind them, for example. Instead of just saying, I like to use group work, you could say, I believe collaborative projects help students develop communication and problem-solving skills, which are essential for success in today's world.
So it's about connecting your practices to the bigger picture, showing that you're not just going through the motions, but you're intentionally designing learning experiences that have real-world relevance.
Precisely. And remember, your teaching philosophy should evolve.
Yeah.
As you gain experience and learn new things, don't be afraid to acknowledge areas where you're still growing or experimenting with new approaches.
So it's okay to show a little vulnerability, to admit that we don't have all the answers.
Absolutely. In fact, it shows that you're self-aware and committed to continuous improvement. No one expects you to be a perfect teacher right out of the gate.
That's so reassuring. It takes the pressure off, right? You don't have to pretend to be this all-knowing guru. You could just be yourself, a passionate educator who's always learning and growing.
Exactly. Now, before you head into that interview, remember to just take a deep breath and visualize yourself succeeding. Confidence is contagious, and when you believe in yourself, others will too.
Yeah, it's like that saying, fake it till you make it. But in this case, it's more like believe it till you become it.
Right. It's about tapping into that inner confidence and letting it radiate outwards.
Okay, I'm feeling empowered. I'm ready to rock this interview and land that dream job. But before we go, can we give a shout out to our amazing sponsor?
Of course. If you're looking to put your awesome teaching philosophy into action, be sure to check out academicjobs.com. They have listings for every level, from pre-K to university, and they cover locations all over the globe.
So whether you're dreaming of teaching kindergarten in your hometown or leading a research team at a prestigious university, academicjobs.com has got you covered.
And they have tons of resources to help you with every step of the job search process, from crafting your resume to negotiating your salary.
It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket.
Oh.
So head over to academicjobs.com and start exploring those possibilities.
Good luck with those interviews. We're cheering you on.
That wraps up our deep dive into the teaching philosophy question. We hope you found it helpful and inspiring. Remember, you got this. Now go out there and land that dream job.